I'm going live.
Let's freaking go. Arkansas gets a W. That really isn't that much of a shock, but they do beat Western Carolina. So, wait, I need this to watch games.
Can I give it back? You're
Yeah.
on your live. You can't watch games and be on
Oh
your
my God. Just had my iPad take. Uh, to get it done in what was a blowout. Obviously, you all have your opinions about Little Rock. We discussed all of those earlier in the week, but the simple truth remains the same. Arkansas wins, and everything will be back in Fayetteville next week. And look, there was plenty of standout performances, but just right off the jump, this is just clear. Okay, everything that happened in today's game is what you wanted to happen in today's game. You wanted to take care of business versus a team that will be the worst team on your schedule. Now, we have done a lot of content on this on Power Hour SEC recently. You want to start the season versus a bad team, right? Because it's hard to come out and play your absolute best in week one. You saw last year versus Cincinnati, who ended up being a very decent team, how difficult of a game that was to win. And you had some big plays in that game, obviously by KJ and McLaughlin. And today, it didn't look like Arkansas was at their absolute sharpest, but they did look very good just from the eye test. Now, obviously, the biggest concern if you are Sam Pittman, and obviously Sam Pittman will talk to the media here in just a second, is the lack of a running game. And you'll see right here, Arkansas 36 rushes for 105 yards, which is not what you want to see versus a team that doesn't have the athletes in the trenches. So obviously Latham not playing today is a big deal, but let me know what you guys believe and think about the Arkansas running game. And overall, KJ had a phenomenal game. That really isn't no shock to anybody. 18 of 23 for 246 and 3 tutties. He also had a rushing TD that was one of the better rushing TDs you'll see on his own read. What a great pull it was. But we might do a film study on this week. I do feel KJ looked okay. He didn't look unbelievable throwing the football today. There were a few throws that I felt were a little late on some deep outbreaking routes, but overall, I do think Arkansas should like what they saw from KJ throwing the football, right? But you saw that some last year against Alabama and a few others where KJ was just a little late on throwing out breaking routes. But overall, he looked really good. He just did. And that's what you should expect from a year five quarterback who is going into his third year as a starter. And I still do believe KJ Jefferson is the best quarterback in the SEC, and he proved it again today. We'll see as the competition gets better um, how Arkansas's team overall performs. Obviously, you take a look at the passing game, and Arkansas was able to get some explosives, obviously, to start the game off with the touchdown from Wilson on the quick screen to the outside. Tesla had a really good game, and Armstrong, the transfer from Texas A&M Commerce, who a lot of people expect to be the best weapon on this team. He had a good day today, obviously, with 5 touchdowns. I say 5 touchdowns, 5 catches for 78 yards and a tutty. I do think, though, and this is my feel on Arkansas this season. Um, I think they do lack some overall explosiveness. And I do think, as far as what they're going to get from their playmakers on the outside, we'll see, right? They're going to need Satania to step up and be a really big player for them this year. Now, before we get into the defensive breakdown, Eastern Carolina covered versus Michigan. I actually really like them with Michigan not having their coach. I didn't expect Eastern Carolina to not score at all. Uh, I just joined. That TCU game was dope, absolutely. And big shout out to Cliff. Florida did let the SEC down. They looked absolutely horrible. Now, what I would also say, if you are an Arkansas fan or if you are a fan of the SEC just in general, um, I do want this to be clear as well. The rest of the conference still has big games left to be played, right? And if you are an Arkansas fan, with obviously this game being an afterthought, being played in Little Rock, the time change, making it earlier in the day so it's not so hot, understand that you were the bottom of the totem pole today as far as everybody is concerned when it comes to the attention for your Razorbacks. Now, what I want to do is I do want to chat about Colorado. I do want to chat about TCU and what has been by far the best game of the college football season. I also want to give you a few plays for tonight's games. But first things first, let's chat about this Arkansas defense. Okay, so let's pull up the team stats here, and you'll see um, Arkansas. You want to see better rushing yards numbers, but defensively, as you can see, um, only 291 yards for Western Carolina. And this was an offense that had a good passing attack, only 227 yards through the air. And overall, the defense for Arkansas looked really good. And maybe just maybe this is a defensive team that is going to be better on that side of the football this year. So we'll see. I think for me, it's just so hard to say anything about this Arkansas team when they obviously just didn't play anybody. Okay. So really, really looking forward to seeing what the Razorbacks are going to do um, when they play better teams. Now, I want to talk about the rest of the SEC. Okay. For me, I thought Tennessee looked good. I do think Virginia with Tony Elliott is the worst coached Power Five team in the country. I think Tony Elliott is one of the worst head coaching hires I have ever seen. I don't know what Virginia was thinking. I get it. Get one of Dabo's guys, establish a culture, offensive mind. He coached Trevor Lawrence and all these guys. But sometimes when you get an elite coach, or you think you're getting an elite coach who's an offensive coordinator for school X, maybe it's because he was coaching Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. He looks so good. So if you're a Tennessee fan watching this, um, the simple truth is you guys blew out a really freaking bad team. All right, that's all there is to it. Huh? 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 Uh, I thought Joe Milton looked fine. I thought the offensive line looked really good, but Virginia is so bad. It is tough to make any type of statement. Now, something else that I will say, if you are a Razorback fan, some of you do know people that live in Jonesboro, and some of you do know people that are Arkansas State Red Wolf fans. Okay. If Tony Elliott is a bad hire, Butch Jones was a worse hire. He is the worst coach we arguably have ever seen in the SEC. And he has proven it again at Arkansas State. In no way, shape, form, or fashion should you ever lose a game 73-0. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You should never, ever lose 73-0. Ever. Okay. And Butch Jones did that today. Not a shock. Arkansas State was so unbelievably bad last year. I understand getting Butch Jones, who has been a coach in the SEC, and he also coached under Saban, obviously, those last couple of seasons. But gosh darn it, that was abysmal. That was a Travis Shama mockery. Now, what I want to do is get to the big game of the day, chat a little bit of TCU and Colorado here. Okay. Got to be real with you. Colorado looked like the real deal. Okay. Now, in my Discord right now, there's a big debate. Well, was TCU overrated last year? Was TCU, overvalued as a team? Their defense isn't really anything. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. What they did today, Colorado, was nothing short of incredible. Throwing for over 500 yards, okay? Knowing you are the marquee game. And all the pressure in this game was really on Colorado, okay? They went off. They went off. Now, both of these teams defensively were not great. There were a lot of plays run in this game. The sharp money was on the over. So this being a high scoring game really isn't anything new, okay? But I do want to say that historically, going on the road in season opening games it's really freaking hard to be good on offense, where everything is based on timing, everything is based on getting everybody aligned correctly, making sure there's no penalties. And obviously Colorado had Travis Hunter, who's a 5-star, and he was playing both ways. I don't care if TCU's defense is overrated. I just don't. To put up over 500 yards, and keep in mind, they also had some passes that were near completions that were either dropped or TCU's defense made a good play. Just by looking at the eye test, how many of those touchdowns did Colorado score where TCU just left a guy running wide open? There really wasn't a whole lot of them. They really had to earn it. So I give Colorado a lot of credit. And look, that's a great thing. I know some of you feel that TCU is just overrated. Uh, I will say this from an LSU perspective. Thank God Deion Sanders did not get Travis Hunter to Florida State. All right. Thank God he did not allow him because goodness gracious. Could you imagine Florida State with Travis Hunter these last couple seasons? Dear freaking Lord. I think right now, obviously Harold Perkins hasn't played, and Harold Perkins, if he could play two ways, you could make a case. But I mean, Travis Hunter is probably the Heisman frontrunner at this point, more than Shedeur Sanders. Because if you're playing both ways, I mean, it's got a little Otani factor to it. So yeah, um, I thought that was incredible, an incredible performance. Now, we'll see how things go for week 2. You're going to play a Nebraska team who is really well coached. They had a really good defensive outing against a Minnesota team that was supposed to have a good offense. Now that people have film on you, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I think TCU was a little shell-shocked, and it's crazy. Absolutely crazy what they did. Absolutely crazy. Now, here's what's really good. I will happily continue to talk about the Arkansas game. I will happily continue to talk about anything college football related. I have watched a good bit of most of the games. I'm thinking about getting YouTube TV just so I can have the 4 screens, but instead I've had the iPad that my wife stole at the beginning of the live stream. We got all kinds of different things going on at once. Okay. Any college football game that you want to talk about, we could talk LSU, Florida State as well. Feel free to super chat right here. I've already shared my thoughts on Tennessee, Virginia. Tennessee looked really good, but Virginia is being coached by someone who shouldn't be a Division I Power 5 coach. I'll chat a little bit of Ole Miss Mercer. That game is 59-7 in the third quarter. So yeah, I will tell you one of my favorite plays today was Rice plus 35.5. Rice is currently losing 10-3 and Texas is driving. So there you go. But yeah, obviously the big SEC game tonight is going to be North Carolina and South Carolina. Another play that I do like is Middle Tennessee getting 40 versus Alabama. I think Alabama will beat them, but I could see this being one of these 42-10 kind of games where Alabama doesn't want to show their entire playbook before playing Texas next week. And Alabama does have a new offensive coordinator. My favorite plays tonight will be I do like North Carolina. I do lean North Carolina. Let me say that. But my favorite play tonight is plus 40 with Middle Tennessee. Plus 40, Middle Tennessee. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put all the games up here. Is there any play for you that sticks out? Interesting to see this Indiana Ohio State game being a little tight right here. Indiana driving. And again, CJ Stroud started slow in both of his seasons at Ohio State. We'll be interested to see USC's defense going up against Nevada. Baylor, Texas State. Interesting that University of Texas San Antonio became a 1.5-point favorite. One upset special game over the next couple of weeks. UTSA going up against Tennessee. I think that game can be very interesting. Okay. Any of these other games, let me know. All right. Got one of our PHLers calling me right now. Just met Tyson freaking Jackson. Let's go here. Coastal Carolina have any shot versus UCLA? Do they at least cover 15.5? So obviously, we get the Grayson McCall game. Is that tonight? Dang, Portland. And that game was 8-7. I didn't see that game on here. Let me see. That is, that's Pac-12 After Dark too. And look at this. It's up to 16. Look at this. Up to 16 points. Did we get Grayson McCall in this game? I'm getting 16? Really? Derek, are we rolling with Derek tonight? I'm getting Grayson McCall and 16 points. And UCLA starting a new QB. No Zach Charbonnet, no Jake Bobo, no obviously Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Coastal? Now, it is interesting. Do you worry about jet lag? That's about as far of a college football trip you are going to make. God, that is a long trip. Cross-country flight to play a college football game. That is just absurd. Coastal Carolina to UCLA? Oh, man. Yeah, I thought you said 14.5. But still, we're getting another half point here. Getting 16. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Oh man. I freaking love it. Oh man. That is so freaking great. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with you. Give me the Chanticleers over the Bruins. Straight up. Give it to me outright. Give it to me outright. Now, I do want to chat a few other things before we skedaddle here. Want to do a quick live chatting everything Arkansas. Take a look at this schedule. Okay. This is one of these games where you look, I see 2-0 next week versus Kent State, 3-0 versus BYU. cannot say how big of an advantage it is to start soft. No, don't go for it, because then y'all going to get mad saying, well, I listened to you, and you shouldn't have said for me to go all in. And I get it. But yeah, the Chanticleers, though, man. Don't mess with the Chanticleers. They're big time. I did just get a ridiculous amount of Mason Smith cards. I will say, as an LSU guy, it is extremely painful to have to wait a little bit longer for tomorrow while all this great college football is happening right now. And I say all this great college football, I'm looking at the scores right now. 59-7, 30-9, 49-3, 50-7, 28-3. Auburn now pulling away from UMass, 24-7. Okay, Boise State. Was Boise State's? Oh yeah, Boise State's got that QB, Taylon Green. Kid can scoot. Oh, come on, Rice. Come on, Rice! Come on, Rice! Don't turn the football over. I need the Owls. I had a buddy play QB there. I need the Owls to play well. All right. I will want to say one thing about the Deion thing. Okay. One thing about the Deion thing. It is going to be interesting to see how radical coaches are going to get as far as revamping the roster. They had 57 players. 57 players. I just need Rice to cover. That's all I need. Yes, he was out of bounds first. I need Rice to cover, and I need Middle Tennessee to cover tonight in the holding the playbook back special. There we go. So has JT Daniels looked bad? I've not been able to watch a second of this game. No, Tulane's rolling. I think Tulane's really good. I do. Dylan says OSU having fits with the IU right now. I wouldn't worry about that. Normally takes, usually Ohio State QBs will kind of stumble early. Yes. Okay. He's short. Come on, Rice. Give me a fourth down stop. Give me a fourth down stop. I remember a few years ago when Arkansas started their season with Rice, and they had issues. Come on. Come on, Rice. Get big. Get big. Come on, Rice. Get big. Yes! We're going the other way. We're going the other way. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I got a buddy on their staff, so I'm also pulling for them. Let's go, Rice. That a way to get big. We got good push on the center. We got good push on the center. I know Arkansas State, dude. You can't do anything about that. You can't. You just got to fire Butch Jones in. He's so terrible. He is not head coach material, and that's fine. It's hard being a head coach. It's hard. Not everybody can have Brian Kelly or Nick Saban or Deion Sanders. Not everybody can have a legendary head coach. Not everybody can. Not everybody can. Now, here's what you're going to do. I'm going to answer as many questions in the next 5 to 10 minutes as we possibly can. If you super chat, we'll keep it going. We'll happily keep it going. However, what I would also tell you is I want this to be clear. I understand it and spend a whole lot of time talking about the Arkansas game. It really was nothing. Like, the game didn't feel like anything to me. It looked about how I expected, other than I thought Arkansas would run the football a little bit better. That is a concern, but when you get your offensive line fully healthy, you should be better. You did have that one bad snap. Once again, that's the good thing about playing a season opening game versus a bad team, right? Florida could learn something about that, right? Because they don't need to. LSU kind of has to, because you have to play a Power 5 team out of conference. But if you could avoid it, avoid it. It is so hard to play. It is so hard to play. Let's go to CB Stotts. I love it. So CB, my initials. Stotts, Terry Stotts. They did look good today. And look, this was a passing attack of Western Carolina. That was really good. They were really good. Passing attack. Now, they did throw for over 200 yards, but when you're getting blown out, passing yards are going to eventually come as the defense just, softens. So, you've got to be in a spot where, you get Dwight McGlothern back. He had an interception. Look, I know we got a bunch of LSU fans watching this that might not like this, but McGlothern's good. He's just a good football player. And he's just really good at making plays. I mean, that's all there is to it. Derek says, I could throw for 400 yards with the Ohio State wide receiver group. You probably could. Marvin Harrison's really good. It's kind of like Georgia's quarterback. Everyone made a big deal about Georgia's quarterback. They got Brock Bowers. You got Brock Bowers, a lot of quarterbacks. Stetson was a good quarterback. Yeah, we're Braylon Allen stands. But when possible, we're going to be doing a ton of Arkansas post-game live streams. This game just did not interest me at all. Like, I know I'm supposed to giving you like deep breakdowns. I watched most of the game. I just couldn't really care less. Like, the only thing that I didn't want to happen was an injury on a turf field. But yeah, Pegasus wants to talk Pitt versus West Virginia. Or Penn State versus West Virginia. I actually like the Mountaineers here. I do. I would have preferred it at 21 in the hook. But I think I mean, look, if there is a coach who is a giant slayer, it is indeed Neil Brown. God dog, JT Daniels. Please. Come on, Rice. Just give me some kind of offense. Just give me something. Something, man. Yeah. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. Now, I will say that as far as the West teams are concerned, their schedule is definitely one of the top 3 toughest schedules in the West, with drawing Georgia in the cross division. That's absolutely brutal. Um, but yeah, Ole Miss looks good. Ole Miss looks really good. Now, um, for me, my best bets for tonight is I do think Middle Tennessee covers. I do, with the new OC, QB and Jalen Milroe. Middle Tennessee, they were 8-5 team last year. They're not going to beat Alabama, but they do have experience going on the road and playing well. Last year, obviously, completely different team, not a good team at all, but they have the confidence of a team that could go in there and make this Alabama game not just what you saw versus Arkansas State, the Oklahoma situation. Mm-mm-mm. Michael Penix Jr. balling out of control. That's your guy, man. You gotta be ready to sell that thing. You know what I'm talking about. Let's go, Rice. Their defense is going to power me through. Come on, Rice. Tackle, 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 tackle. Please. Now, my final thoughts on the Razorbacks tonight. I want this to be known. Arkansas is a team that will be solid this year. Arkansas is a team that I do believe will go over their win total at 6.5. I do. I really, really, really do. But they're going to need to run the football better. They're going to need to obviously be in a spot where they aren't controlling the line of scrimmage. And, they're going to need to obviously get more explosives in the passing game. They average 6.2 yards per play, which is pretty good. It's not something incredible. And, you just got to run the football better if you're Arkansas. Obviously, pass defense was pretty good with 4 interceptions and only giving up 227 yards. Oh, my God. Dude, Quinn Ewers is terrible, man. I don't understand. Could someone explain the Quinn Ewers? That was a layup touchdown. All he has to do is throw that ball towards the middle of the field. All he has to do is just throw it. God. Why does it get shoved down our throats that Quinn Ewers is supposed to be good? Oh, I can't stop the run, man. There you go, Rice. Mm. He should have at least kept the mullet. That would have distracted everybody. Come on, Rice. Hold him to a field goal at least here. At least a field goal. Dylan, slow your roll. Breathe in, breathe out. I will say, you do have one advantage over LSU. You have one advantage. Is you don't play anybody until then. You don't play anybody until then. LSU's got two very tough games. They have obviously the Florida State game, and then week 3, they have to go to Mississippi State and play an 11 a.m. right? But breathe in, breathe out. Let's not get carried away here. I need JT Daniels to give me something. Something. I don't think I'll ever get used to the Big Ten being on CBS. I don't know if I can. What do y'all think about SMU going to the ACC with Stanford and Rice? CB, you know I love you, brother. But this is where that love stops. Yes! Yes! Oh, they marked him down? Okay. The guy who called the game just tweeted at me. Jordan Reed. That's cool. I hope you're right. And I hope that starts tonight with the loss. Screen! Please tackle. Please tackle. Please tackle. That's going to get him in field goal range. Just needed that one tackle. Texas Rice, baby. Let's go, Indiana. I love a good watch along. I kind of want to do a PHL watch along tonight on the other channel. Okay, Rice takes a timeout. All right, I want y'all to be honest with me. For you watching right now, is there a sport you love? Oh, look at Buffalo hanging in there with Wisconsin. Oh, wait, Notre Dame scored again? Oh, damn. Who is Tennessee State? Wait, how did they score again? Good. Rice brought the freaking house. I love it. Let's go, Rice. Oh, they're running another offensive play? Yeah, you should just blitz again. Keep him in bounds. Okay. Man, that's a long field goal. Dang. How about a block field goal return to the house? Texas always has good kickers. Block field goal return to the house. They're icing them. Let's go. Ice cream. Add 3 people. Hell, AP. We might be able to work something out. Hit me up. I kind of want to experiment with YouTube TV. Dang, he made the kick. Mm. How about that? All right, let's take a few of these right here. What's up, Johnny? Yeah, your boy Tesla was a beast. Kevin wants to talk Arkansas wideouts. All right, let's do it. If anyone has an extra YouTube TV, hit me up. I just want to see what it's like because I'm thinking about getting it myself because I see people doing the 4-screen thing. So if you are one of those people, hit me up. Derek said he'll hit me up. Yeah, there was a nice pick six there at the end. And that was good for Arkansas to cover the 35. That helped them clear it with ease. But Kevin wants to talk about the Arkansas wide receiver. So Armstrong looked pretty good today. And I don't think that's really a shock if you've been following along in camp, Texas A&M Commerce transfer and Isaac Tesla. I do think, Kevin, the skill guys are missing something. I believe they really need Isaiah Satania to step up. I do begin to worry that obviously he's got the speed to play, but is he too small? So is that something? They need a number 3. I think Luke Haas will eventually turn into something as a tight end. So yeah, I just think overall, when you lost Matt Landers last year, obviously Jaden Hazelwood, I think that was addition by subtraction. When you lost Matt Landers, though, you did lose that deep threat, that one guy that is truly special, right? And KJ last year, I felt had that when Thompson was there, and then obviously Jackson when he was there. I thought that was overall really, really good SEC wide receiver crew. I'm just trying to figure out who else will that guy be. Is it Jaden Wilson who had the big touchdown to start the game off? Is it him? I don't know. You tell me. Now, I will go ahead and sign this off. Appreciate it. Don't forget, Hog Live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central. All right, we chat about everything Arkansas Razorbacks. It's for you, Arkansas fans that have shown me the most love out of any of the SEC teams. So I'm hooking you up. We might do a few film studies here over the next hour, so hope you enjoy it, okay? It is Power Hour SEC. Boom. And tonight we are doing some carne asada tacos. Let's go.